everybody, Carrie from KDS Insurance Services down in Texas. Hope you are doing well. Texas is not doing real well right now. We are under a freeze warning in North Texas, pretty severe actually. The temperatures are extremely low. Down in the Gulf Coast, we're saturated with water. It's been a rough week for weather here in Texas. What I wanted to talk to you today about is Texas property coverages, insurance, and insurance rates. In the last 40 years of my career, I have seen Texas go from one of the cheapest rates for insurance to probably in the top five. Maybe more than that now, may even be higher than that. And there's a lot of things that are driving the rates in Texas. And to be quite honest with you as an agent, I don't know that we're going to see a trend backward. I don't think our rates are ever going to go back to where we used to be. The insurance companies are struggling to be profitable. And, I work with these companies every single day and I get the frustration. I'm a consumer too. I get just as annoyed and just as aggravated and want to wring somebody's neck because they don't pay the claim properly or they don't, whatever the situation may be. I get it. I'm a consumer too. I understand your frustrations because they're my frustrations. So here in Texas 2 years ago we had a massive $1 trillion catastrophe storm in February, and every single property carrier in Texas had a massive payout from that storm. I don't think there was one that escaped paying substantial amount of money for those claims that were in February. And so we are still recovering from that one single event. Yes, my hands are freezing. It's so cold in my office, so I apologize. So we're still recovering from that massive payout. And the insurance companies are still trying to get back into a place where they are profitable. But that's not the only thing that they're dealing with. And I'm not here to defend these insurance companies, okay? I work with them. I understand both sides of the equation because I have to, because I'm an agent, but I'm also a consumer. I represent the carrier, but I also represent myself, and all of my customers. So I understand both sides, and I'm literally in the middle. But the carriers are trying to have been trying to make up for that storm, and it was a I think it actually ended up being $1 trillion payout. That's a lot of money in one state to absorb within a 2 year period of time. So we have that, and then guess what? We have a new government takeover. We have a new president. And this is not a political statement. This is just a statement of facts. We now have the worst economy we've had in decades. We're facing double-digit inflation. All of that affects insurance companies, insurance rates, which means that you and I, as consumers, are going to be affected by what the insurance companies do and their rates. And their rates are directly tied to our economy and the payouts that they've paid for claims. So you add a storm that was $1 trillion storm less than 2 years ago, horrible economy, horrible inflation, and you have three of the most dramatic influences on insurance rates, and it's happened within the last 2 years. So here's just an example of what's going on. My own home, I have a 2,400 square foot home. I'm down near the Houston area, and last year, and I cover about 360,000, 370,000. Let's just say in that ballpark, from 350 to 400. And my premiums went from $1,700 a year to $3,400 a year this year. And when that renewal came in, I do what I did for myself, what I do for all my customers. I go out and I shop every single homeowner's carrier to see if I can find the same good package of coverages for a more competitive price. I do this for every single client. I do this at new business. So if you call me and you say you want a homeowner's quote, this is what I do. I go to every single carrier and I quote your home and I find the best package for the best price. That's 100% increase in 1 year. 100%. And I don't like to see anything more than 5%. So we're 95% over where we should be. And it's because we are trying to make up for a $1 trillion loss. We're trying to keep our head above water because our economy is in the toilet and because our inflation keeps going up. People are struggling to put food on the table. People are struggling because their mortgage payments are going up because their insurance is going up 100%. So if you paid $1,500 and you were paying $100 a month for your insurance, now you're paying double, so it's all going to go up. And I just don't know where or when or if we're going to see any changes. I am hearing that hopefully in our third quarter of this year, things will hopefully settle down a little bit and we'll see some changes in rate. That's just a guesstimation, and that's really it. It's a guesstimation. Just from what I hear in my own industry and people that I talk to and other agents and carriers and underwriters and that's what we have to hope happens is by the third quarter of this year, we start to see some planing off or some leveling off of rates. In the meantime, what can you do? Well, you can take a higher deductible. That's always a way to offset premiums. If you're shopping from carrier to carrier and you live in two particular areas in Texas, up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's called Hail Alley because we have very significant hailstorms in that particular area. Or if you live down in the Houston area on the Gulf Coast, you're going to have to take a 2% deductible if you go to switch insurance companies. The days of a $500 deductible or a $1,000 deductible, they're just not, they're gone. There is no such beast on the market. Unless you get to a carrier that has a poor rating. And, you know, there's people that I hear it every day. Well, can we stay where we are? Can we lower the premiums? You could go to a carrier that has a below A rating, but if you do that, you run the risk of your claims not being paid. The ratings on an insurance company determines their financial stability and their ability to pay claims. So if you take a subpar carrier, then you are running the risk that your claims are not going to be paid. It's just that simple. So are you willing to gamble? Are you willing to take a lower premium for a carrier that may not pay for your roof when it's blown off, or if you have a fire, or if a tornado comes in? You have to think about all of those things. And I know that it's frustrating. Believe me, I get it. I understand it. I'm there with you. I'm a consumer. You can change your deductibles, and then I would really suggest that when your policy is up for renewal, you shop your rate with an independent agent, because an independent agent is going to have access to their entire portfolio of carriers, and in some situations maybe even out onto the broker market. That's the big thing that you can do, is to check with your agent and do some shopping, check your rate. Just don't assume that, we have to make sure that we're letting the carriers know that we're shopping rates, because this is a way for us as consumers to tell them we're not happy with what's going on, and so we're going to shop our rate. They want retention. They want clients to stay. That helps their actuarials. The longer you're with a company, it helps their actuarials, because especially if you're with a company for a long time and you don't have any claims, then you're 100%, your policy they're making 100% profit on. So, two things to do. You can seriously look at your deductible. You can get with an independent agent and have them shop your rates. You can change your insurance at any time, by the way, on your homeowners, even if you have it escrowed into a mortgage. There is no rule, there is no law in the state of Texas that says that you cannot change your insurance policy mid-period. Your mortgage company doesn't like to do that because it's extra paperwork and extra steps for them. But you control your insurance. You control when you want to change carriers. You don't have to get anybody's approval to do that. That's your decision as a consumer. So, this is my advice until we start to see some planing off of the rates here in Texas. I just think we have to ride it out. And I wish I had better news for you. Believe me, I get phone calls every single day. I've got a list on my desk right now. It's got 15 clients on it that I'm shopping their rates because they're unhappy. And I get it. I totally get it. I wish, I wish I could tell you, as agents, we have more clout and pull with the carriers than we actually do, but we don't. We just represent them and write their business for them. That's all we do. We don't have any power to go to them and say, this is what I want, this is what I demand, this is what I expect you to do. We can ask, but we don't have any power as agents to make any decisions about what they're going to do or what they're going to pay or what they're not going to pay. So just remember that when you're working with your agents, because I can only speak for myself. What I do is I try my very best to find the best insurance for the best price, whether it be at renewal or whether it be as a new client. My new clients still see anywhere from 20 to 25, sometimes even more percent off their premiums, because what is happening, and there's a lot of agents that do this, and it's why there's a lot of bad reputation in this industry. They're writing policies and loading them up with coverages that they don't need, that don't fit their circumstances, and they're writing insurance just to write the biggest premium. I do not operate like that. I never have, nor ever will. I write your insurance based upon your individual needs and what your property needs, not any other reasons but that. And if you haven't had your rates checked in a while, now in particular, you really need to do that. So I wish I had better news for you. I really do, because that means I'd have better news for myself and all of my clients. But it is just where we are. And I wanted to be honest with you. I want somebody to get out here and be honest with you and give you the facts, because I feel like if you have the facts and you're being talked to honestly, then it's going to help you make decisions that you're going to need to make. Because right now, everybody is robbing Peter to pay Paul and juggling finances, because we are in just a really bad spot. Financially, our economy is in the toilet. Inflation is out of control. And I don't know where it's all going to end. I hope it ends soon, because I don't really know how much more all of us can continue to absorb financially. So, of course, I'm here to help in any way I possibly can. Carrie Devlin Scroggins is my name. You've reached my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is here to help you live the very best life you can and to successfully do it. That's what this is all about, to help you, give you some information, some tips, and some other areas to help you with the very complicated and confusing world of insurance. Thank you for stopping by today. Please take a few minutes and subscribe. That really does help me. That'll let you know the next time that I post a video. And I'd love to hear from you. If there's a subject you'd like me to talk about, please either leave me a comment or give me a call. You can reach the agency at 817-374-4477 or 832-391-8271. I've got a very long email, so I won't leave that, but I'm all over social media. You can find me on all the channels. And I'd love the opportunity to talk to you and hear from you and potentially work together. So I hope this helps. I hope wherever you are, you're having a safe day. If you're in Texas, please watch the weather. Please check the road conditions. We are in a really rough winter, and don't take any chances. If you don't have to get out in the weather, don't. It's not worth it. And I look forward to seeing and talking to you in my next video. God bless everyone.